that excitement, you know. If you're in NXT, then, you know, you can kind of get introduced to some people that don't watch AEW, and we have to be honest, there's quite a few people that don't watch AEW. So there's going to be a few people that might not be familiar with you. They might have heard your name, but they don't, you know, they haven't watched you. They don't know really what you're about. So you could go to NXT, you can kind of introduce yourself to them, win over some of those NXT fans that aren't familiar with you, work on a little bit of presentation, just get your feet in the door, understand how WWE works, you know, work on a few bits, just, you know, no pressure. Just get yourself ready, and, you know, 6 months later, bang, get called up, come up after WrestleMania. If you was to sign now, you might not be in WrestleMania plans. Help out NXT for a little bit, go up the night after WrestleMania. I mean, I don't see that as a disrespect. Really creative setup for them, but I can factor them in after Mania at this point. So I can't say that people wouldn't view it that way, but I don't think they should view it that way. I tell you that something that distracts me, there's a lot of people in the front row that look like people that have been at tryouts. I think that there could be some, I don't know if they're Performance Center, or if they're WWE ID, or if they're tryout people, but I feel like there is a chunk of wrestlers just in those first few rows where Chase U used to sit. There's a few people over there, I'm like, tryouts going on this past week. Right, we are at commercial break at the moment. Trini said Jade going to NXT would have ruined her aura. She should have been training and performing in NXT, but off screen, says Trini. Ronda is another one who could have used some off-screen NXT run, especially with promos. Jennifer said Jade bumbling on the main roster is drowning her aura too. Yeah, you see, I would agree with that. I think going to the main roster and being out of your depth is not a good look. I think if you go to NXT and you've got a few shortcomings, then let's work on those. And actually, you know, by the time you hit the main roster and you're being exposed to the wider fan base, the casual fans, you know, we've got to be honest, most people only watch Raw and SmackDown. To be honest, probably even less watch that and just tune into Rumble, WrestleMania. I mean, you've got different levels of fans. You've got your hardcores, you've got your casuals, you've got your super casuals. I sort of feel like with Jade, she's having to work it all out on the main roster, and she's showing the most people her shortcomings when she could have gone to NXT. And, all right, she could have shown the same shortcomings, but it would have been to a much smaller audience. And actually, by the time she got ready, you know, she could have come up a bit more complete. Different shows, not used her on TV, just exposed her to the fewest amount of people possible, worked it out, and then gone straight to the main roster. Okay, I hear that. Spiller said, I love how we're talking, and Daze just jumps into our conversation. I'm a renegade. Joe Hendry is in control, by the way. Oh, what was that? What was that? Are those brass nuts? Brass nuts! Brass nuts! Here we go! Oh. Boom! 1, 2. Oh, kick out by Dion. Whoa, Why had Dark State just accepted this? He's used brass nuts, but why? I don't know. Dark State haven't done anything about it. It makes them look a bit flipping useless, doesn't it? Kip up there by Joe. Joe turns around. Here's Dion. Dion getting up to his feet. Joe grabs Dion. Now they pass him a kendo stick. Kendo stick there by Dion. Straight across the back. And again. Another kendo stick shot. It's a weird match, this. And this is a weird match. It's a no DQ match with people already at ringside, already getting involved. But they're not like just getting in the ring and just, do you know what I mean? How is this not broken down into carnage? Joe uses that kendo stick. Now he's going to look to pick up Dion. Slams Dion down, goes for the cover. Surely someone grabs the leg. Yeah, good. Cyrus does that. Now he starts beating up on Joe. OTM don't do anything about it. OTM are just stood over the other side going, don't do that. That's not right. Dion Lennox driving Joe down. OTM grab Dion's leg, pull him out the ring. Shot coming in. Dark State over the other side have gone up on the ring and they're shouting, don't beat up our guy. This is weird. Is this going to finally break down into flipping? The numbers are with Dark State. It's 3-on-2. That was always a problem here with this match, actually, was that he did get OTM, but he was still like a number short. Crowder champion OTM. I'm glad that it's broken down into this because it sort of feels like it should have been this all throughout. So OTM and Dark State, they seem to be OTM dealing with the extra person at the moment. That's their problem to deal with backstage. That's just going to leave Dion and Joe. Only got 4 minutes left to go. What do you think about Brock Breaker getting suspended? I'm excited, says Carmen. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a long suspension. But, you know, I expect to see him in the Rumble. And maybe we see him in the Rumble next. Perhaps we don't see him before. Perhaps we see him on Monday and he just does what the hell he wants. 1, 2, Spinebuster onto a chair, but a kick out there by Joe. As I said before, when I went to my first live event, it was opening day of the holiday. I got to meet CM Punk and I got to see AJ Styles wrestle before he retires, and I loved it. Go, shout out to you, but not the Slim Jim table, said Sandy. It's in the ring, it's waiting. I think someone's going through it. So right now we've got Joe Hendry in control. Shot coming in there by Dion. These two exchanging blows back and forth. Big boot coming in there by Joe. Dion! Joe goes into that Slim Jim table. It does break. And 1, 2. And a shoulder up by Joe.